Now you might pray to God, y'all, but I like Lucifer best of all. Don't keep changing, waiting. Don't keep changing, waiting. Sunday school is a place for fools. It's hot in hell, but the devil's cool. Don't keep changing, waiting. Don't keep changing, waiting. So don't just sit there, join the club. Sell your soul to Beelzebub.
Hello, Fright Nights and Monster Girls. It is I, Count Jackula, your favorite satanic streamer, here for another satanic stream. And I see Stacy's with us, Tyler's with us, Steps 8, and Kira. I hope everybody is good and things are doing okay. Had a bit of bad news today myself, which is our cat Comet has cancer. He has a type of cancer in his mouth. It's not operable. So now we're talking about, like, quality of life and stuff like that. The main symptom he's got right now is that he's very thin. His energy level right now is okay. We're going to be giving him steroids in order to shrink the tumor so it doesn't bother him as much, as well as pain medication. That is where we are at with all that. And I hope things go well. I hope he's going to be okay. We're going to do everything we can for him, but it's all about making sure the kitty is, happy for the remainder of his life, which is probably not going to be very long. We might get lucky and it might be like 18 months, over a year, but, We're more focused on making sure the kitty is happy rather than extending his life. Man. So there's that. Some of you may have seen Horror Guru's Instagram posts about Comet because, like, we found out found out this afternoon, and I'm gonna be sad. It's also the last. The I took care. I'm taking. We're taking care of Comet because our friend Chris, who was our landlord, died, and he wanted to make sure Comet was taken care of, and we're doing that. But man, sometimes it just there's never there's never enough you can do. You reach that point, and just you just it's coming, and there ain't no way around it. And it seems to be the theme of my life for the last few weeks, which is aging and death. It's the worst part about getting older. It really is. It ain't the gray hair. It ain't the balding. You know, it's two things. Actually, three. One, knowing that there's really not a lot you're going to be able to do about it most of the time. You know, about those final moments. They're going to happen. The other is how people treat you as you get older. Hey, Winter, how you doing? People don't. They start treating you different, and in America, not in a good way. You know, the reason like Asian cultures are really big on the respect thing is because you're supposed to be respectful of older people because they've been around longer. There's stuff to learn from them. And if you don't make time to learn it, it really is your loss. You start making some of the same mistakes. And that's not, some people take it as far as to say, like, oh, no, you have to do everything your elders tell you. I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way at all. Um, being respect is something. Respect is something you're supposed to give to people who are more experienced than you. It doesn't mean that they're always right, but you're supposed to give them the benefit of the doubt, at least to their face. You know, and in America, we don't do that. We don't do that. Um, it's not something our culture is really big on. It really isn't. Um, our culture is much more focused on generational divides. We don't just let them happen. We encourage those generational divides. That's really sad. It's really to everyone's detriment. You know, I don't think we would be in the position we were in if we did not promote generational divides as much. And it's a hard thing to do anything about because it's a major influence on our culture. We get it from everywhere. We get it from work. We get it from media. You know, we get it everywhere. So it's hard to fucking fight that. And you don't. That's not to say that generational divides don't happen in other places. They absolutely do. But the anger and the frustration between, and sometimes the hatred between generations, it doesn't exist. That's what's not there. You know, like in Taiwan, they really make sure that old people are taken care of. Like that's the reward. You know, you grew up in this culture, you've given a lot, so now we're gonna take care of you. And we're gonna make sure that everyone that people look out for you. You know, they also do this with children, by the way. You know, everyone's kind of expected to look out for children. I know in Japan in particularly, wow, they really do. They really do. They take care of their kids really well on a societal level. Like they really truly do. Um, it probably helps that there is not a big focus on religious indoctrination. Like Taiwan and Japan don't have that. I assume Korea doesn't either. Um, Mainland China, I'm not so sure that the party hasn't replaced religion. I actually don't know. Um, you know, like I've experienced the other two countries on that level. I haven't experienced Korea or mainland China. Yeah, and people do live longer. They live a lot longer. You know, Americans don't live that long, which is really sad. Yeah, always doing what the elders say is you fall in the trap of traditionalism, but not learning from them forces you to start from scratch. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you always have to reinvent the wheel, you know. Fuck that. We don't need to we know what the wheel is. We don't have to reinvent it. You know. You know, I'm generally against reinventing the wheel for no reason. You know, that even extends to a lot of my game design theories, which is like, no, 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 no. Go with what works. Go with what works. If you have an idea for a mechanic that does something else and that's what you want, that's one thing. You know, but it's also why when it's like, well, we kind of want to do a basically like fantasy RPG stuff. I'm like, yeah, D&D. You know, like there are other settings, but like for the most part D&D's got you covered. You know, just do it that way. It's easier. You know, it's easier, it's simpler, stuff like that. Yeah, ancestor worship is very, 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 very different than God worship. Yeah, ancestor worship is a big deal. Like that's definitely That's definitely true. Like ancestor worship tends to create a culture that cares more about its young and its old. You know, Stacy says, I mean, Stacy says, I still give advice to people I got from my grandmother. Recall, she said, no one is obligated to take your advice. Both of those things very true. That's very true. They're not obligated to, but I think that one of the big problems is that because of religious indoctrination, everyone assumes that that's what everyone means. You know, that you're obligated to take their advice. Like, no, you're not. You're not obligated. You have your own mind. Kira says, I kind of have that the elders in my life are not really that wish. I do kind of wish that far right trap had grown. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, you see, like that's the problem with the far right trap. It has nothing to do with any of this. It has nothing to do with any of this. The far right is all about being able to torment whoever they say it's okay that you should torment. You should cause suffering to these people. That's what it's really all about. And it's horrible. It's evil. It's evil. You know, most people in that, they don't even recognize it as a trap. They don't even see what it's doing to them. You know, it would not be incorrect to say that which they try to do to others is what they do to themselves. The big difference is for them, it's a choice. They don't want it to be a choice for anybody else. Yeah, that's the nuance there. Because I'm like, look, I know that this is how you treat yourself, but you still don't get to treat anyone else this way. Fuck you. Ugh. Excuse me. Man, I'm a little sad that I'm missing the Baldur's Gate 3 buzz because I'll be able to get it once like I get my money for the month, but like by then I have a feeling like all the hype will be done. But I guess that's okay. I mean, like, it's still a game I'm really looking forward to. I still giggle years and years ago. My grandma asked if I slept with my now long ex. Literally said, "Would you buy shoes that trying them on?" She said no and never brought it up again. You know, exactly. You know, like that's a big deal, you know. Because there is that question of do I just really want to have sex with this person and that's it? You know, is that what I'm really after here? Is anything else really going on? You know, and sometimes the best way to find out is to just do that. You know, sometimes the best way to deal with it, you just you just do it. You know, and in the modern day, come on, that's so simple. You know, it's so easy in the modern day because you don't have to. You have you can mitigate all the negative consequences. You know, like that was like it was important enough to us to fucking invent ways to negate those, use them. Anyone telling you anything else is someone trying to control you for some reason of their own. And there are a lot of stupid reasons, you know. Oh my God, what will anyone say? You know, how would you explain this to your future husband? Like, really? Like, they're trying to bring that one back hardcore with this whole concept of like low value women. You know, and so they also have low value men too. You know, just to reinforce the fact that like the way they treat others, they try to treat others the way they treat themselves. You know, but still, fuck them, because for them it's a choice. It's what you always got to remember. For them, it's a choice, and they're trying to force you to make the same one. Fuck them. Fuck them. You know, it's like Obama said during his presidential acceptance. Was it his acceptance speech, or it was either his acceptance speech or his inauguration, where he said to our enemies, we will take your hand if you will unclench your fist. And I'm like, yep, that's the perfect way of dealing with that. You know, I will shake your hand if you unclench your fist. You know, but you gotta unclench that fist. You have to. You know, because if you already weren't willing to take my hand, that means all the change has to be is on you. It's on you to change. And I will pat you on the head and say, good job for every small step that you take. But remember, man, you got to get on this level, scrub. That's why I love the LGBT commentary. Everyone grounded in knowing when a relationship truly is like, yeah. Yeah, and it's still hard. Like, it's still rough. It's still rough. Shit still doesn't work out. You know, things still go bad. People change. Sometimes they don't change together. It all still happens. But it's a tragedy, not a catastrophe. You know? It's unfortunate. It hurts. But it ain't a fucking catastrophe. It's not a social catastrophe. You know, the way I say it is like, I hate the way we focus on some of this shit in America because, like, you make a bad situation worse. Oh, why are these women just allowed to get divorced? I can't believe that's legal. First of all, it's legal for you too, asshole. It always was. Second of all, the only reason it matters is because it matters to you. Bunch of guys. They're taking the children away, and I'm not going to get to see them. Well, that sucks. If you're a good person, I hope you challenge that. But if you're not a good person, there's still kind of an upside to it. Take the consolation prize and buy a ticket out of out of those people's lives. Come on. Social Catastrophe. You're right. It does sound like it. That is a good band name, Social Catastrophe. You know, uh, now I'm liking that more and more as I'm thinking about it in my own head. Social Catastrophe. Think you should bring back matrilineal lineage. I think what we need to do actually is move to a more responsible way of doing that. Because it's like, it's the family's money. And that person should. I believe that we should do full lineage. Just do it on both sides. And we kind of do that now. Kind of. Like, we're not all the way there, but like, we are getting closer. Zevon says, my dad threatened to take me from my mom when I was little so she wouldn't divorce him. Oh, fuck you. Oh, fuck him. That asshole has my name misspelled in his Facebook page. Wow. Makes a threat like that. Can't even be bothered to spell your name right. Oh, kid gets mom's name. I'm willing to leave that stuff up to the individuals. That's not a fight I'm worried about. Oh yeah, but we do like fucking. Oh yeah, a lot of bad dads out there, definitely. But I could leave that up to the. I can leave things like names up to the individuals because that gets complicated. Hey, Eliza, how you doing? Oh, Liam is also here. What are my thoughts on the Cramps? Good band. Next, Oh man, didn't that guy from what's his fuck? He was that guy who was like raping infants, and he was he was in a band, but I don't think it was the dude. Yeah, what was it? Yeah, it was that dude. He's a member of a band that was more popular, like, among millennials, I think. I don't think it was in this. Yeah, I gotta look this up. Hold on. Rocker who raped infants. Do 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 do. Ian Watkins from the Lost Prophets. Yeah, he got sent to the hospital because they finally got to they finally did that much damage, meaning the other inmates. Yeah, the Lost Prophets, Ian Watkins. Like, he got sent to the hospital because they beat him so bad this time. Oh yeah, no, it's some Serbian film shit. Yeah. Is he still in Critical? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. Ian Watkins Hospital. Remains in critical condition. Oh wait, that was 7 days ago. No new news. No new news. We don't know. Oh yeah, child molesters in prison. Other inmates really don't like them. They really don't. Yeah, they poked some holes in his neck. Yeah. Yeah, good, Considering that a child molester tends to do more time than a guy who kills a child molester, because a guy with a single murder charge who killed a child molester, I'm like, fuck yeah. Good. I won't make excuse. I'm not going to make excuses for any of that shit. For that shit, you're a chomo. Fuck you. Good news, you're getting some help with your grief. Oh, what are you doing? Yeah, we're changing topics. Changing topics. Ah, man. But thanks for coming and hanging out with me. It helps me, keeps me from feeling, you know, like I'm getting too old and nobody likes me anymore. Like, oh, you're seeing a psychiatrist? Oh, good. And moving out of your house. Oh man, no, that'll be good. That'll be very good. Yeah, it's good that you're seeing a psychiatrist and a therapist over that, because like you you're gonna want that help. You're gonna want help, and once you're seeing a psychiatrist and a therapist, if one of them don't work out, it's easier to get another one because you're like on a roll. Yeah. Also, don't you still have like two kids you're taking care of? So like you really want to, you really want help dealing. Tyler says the first video I watched in years was House of a Thousand Corpses. I like it. House of a Thousand Corpses. I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed doing that one. Yeah, you love your memories here, but can't deal with it. You smell death in the walls and sick constantly. Oh, yeah, yeah. No, you don't have to be doing that. Yeah, there are all those like gothic tales of like, these big empty houses for a reason, where something bad happened. The metaphor is clear, which is like it's the ghost doesn't haunt the place haunts you, you know. It's the real fucking like that's the real metaphor of the ghost story. Oh, you like the targets I spit on your grave reviews? I assume you're talking about the reviews because that's the context we brought it up in. Because those movies are genius, just in and of themselves. They are genius films. Grief is hard to get over. Lost your brother in 2020 still. Oh, geez. Were you close? I mean, I'm assuming you were close because, you know, watched those last night. Yeah, weird history with ghost stuff. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You love it in media, but not in real life. Little real life, it's a little too much. It's a bit much. You know, it's why like my relationship to uh the idea of like hauntings and ghosts and haunted houses is a little bit different. Hey, town. My attitude's a little bit different. If I run into something that's like a ghost, I'm like, hi. You don't have to be doing this shit. If you just want my attention, you just want a conversation, you just ask. Just move a book or something. You don't have to be throwing things around and making weird noises. You could just we could just figure out a way for you to say hello. Yeah, it really, yeah. It's the Asians with haunted houses sketch from YouTube sketch from Stephen He. Yeah, this really is my attitude. Bitch in here, like bitch doing the hell. You sheet. I used the fabric softener. Oh, whoops! I just realized
That
you can't
you
hear this
stole,
shit.
but you cost me.
You can't hear that. Hold on.
Hello?
This is me and ghosts.
What the hell? Oh, what the hell? Electrician come last week. The hell I pay you for? Whew. Why it suddenly get colder? What the hell?
Oh yeah, Square Hammer is great. It's all about the supposed connection between Satanism and Freemasonry. Yeah.
What the heck? Steven! This is one of your failures. Oh, I smell bitch in here. Yep, smell like bitch. The hell you doing? What the? What the hell? That's my new sheet. I used the fabric softener. You don't know the white sheet get dirty on the floor? Is that you? You stupid! You cost me electricity! You don't know this costs 5 cents a day! Why the hell is so cold? Who are you, my ex-girlfriend? You don't know the heating costs money, lah! Who the hell you think I am? Jackie Chan! I make videos on YouTube! What the hell you do? You scare the people! Only thing scary about you is your unemployment. Where the hell were you Halloween? I had to buy the stupid decoration. Spider web skeleton. Stupid. One day of the year, you don't do nothing. You stand there for one day on Halloween. Couldn't do your job. You such a failure. You made my son look like Elon Musk. That was the joke. You want to stay in my house now? Okay, $700 a month rent. You have to do the laundry. You don't pay the rent, you're gonna be wearing garbage bag next week. I didn't want to say, I don't mean to be rude, but when the last time you showered? When you came in, the room smelled like ass in a fish market. Are you a cat? This is Beijing Kong. This yes, this no, okay. Are you a cat? Oh, you're
a cat.
You're a cat? What happened? You run out of lives? What's your name?
Oh, that Beijing Kong.
Beijing Kong. Your name is Beijing Kong? Okay, sorry, I didn't know you were a cat. I thought you were just stupid. Here, you can stay here with me.
Stay here with me.
There you go. We make friends.
Yep. Yeah, that's be a ghost. If we can come to some sort of understanding, everything's cool. This guy acts like my Tias. Who's Tias? I will send you to Jesus. Oh, he did a sequel. Ghost Crow. Oh, Tia's means on. Okay.
What the hell? Who moving the What the hell? Somebody trying to scare me? The only thing scary about this is the monetization. What the hell? How are you wearing shoes inside? Are you dumb? Look all the dirt you dragged in. Look the soil, the leaf, everything you dragged in. I didn't know I ran a foster home for failures. You think you're scary? I walk your dimension to get to school. Oh, what you gonna do next? Trip over the back? Useless. What you doing standing at the door? The small apartment, we don't have sunlight. What you trying to get vitamin D? Ghost trying to get a tan. What you doing here on a Monday morning? Spirit Halloween not hiring. What the hell, is that you? You have telemarketing power. You don't be magician, you don't go to roulette table, you come to my house. Do I look like Panda Express? What the hell? You want some toast? Here's a sponge. Go do some dishes. Where you think you're going? Did I say you can leave? Go do the dishes. I will send you to Jesus. Hello, it's professional Asian that specializing in failure management. Now, some of you may have noticed the channel video getting better but less views because YouTube changed the algorithm. Now, satisfaction is king. So, if you think the videos deserve to reach more people, press the like button. We bring laughter to more people so we can cure their failures.
Yeah, no. That's me and ghosts. Oh, fuck this. Did I say you could leave? I didn't say. I'll go get the coin sword and the bells, bitch. What are you doing that? It's annoying, isn't it? Yeah. Take your shoes off the house. Oh, plural. Oh, TS means ant. Oh, okay. Sorry, I saw Wolfenstein, just assumed German. But, like, that's like a. I don't know why, because I didn't think your last name actually was Wolfenstein. I just kind of put you in that. Yeah, the chunk. Oh, yeah. Especially in Southeast Asian cultures, the chunkless king. Any place where they wear any fucking place, motherfuckers wear sandals a lot. Now, some of you might be like, why do I wear sandals so much? Fucking wet. It's fucking wet. And so, like, you're like, I don't want to put on my fucking shoes. Like, I'm just going down to the store. I don't need to be tying laces like a drip on. Just going to wear some sandals. They make some good sandals. Like, Taiwan makes some amazing sandals. Like, fuck Birkenstocks. Fuck Crocs and Birkenstocks. Like, fucking. They make sandals you literally could just do everything in. Wow, Jack. Wait, what was it? What'd I say? What was it? What was the wow? But your legal name is Wolfenstein? But your family's Spanish? Huh. 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 That reminds me, I know a guy named Justin Long, not like a famous dude, like he just happens to have a similar name. That happens to have the same name, but like he was adopted by a Western family whose last name was Long. So meeting his parents was really confusing because, Long is a very Asian last name. So you meet these two white people and you're like, wait, what? Did your mom remarry? What's the deal here? Like, no, their last name is just Long. And I'm like, oh, well, you made out because, like, usually when a white family adopts like an Asian person, all of a sudden you're like, Jim Smith, and everyone's kind of confused, a little confused for a second there. Half Spanish, half German. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. When you told me that, that's kind of what I guessed, but I was in a band in high school. Half German, half Spanish. That, Spanish as in from Spain or like Latina or Latinx or whatever's being used now. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like in America we just kind of use Latina as like an Americanism, even though it's not grammatically correct. Your lore is long and odd. Yeah, my mom's side of the family, Latina. Okay. Yeah, like my dad's side of the family. My dad is just pretty much Chinese. You know, if we the 23andMe shows that there's some Japanese in there. You know, I don't know how they know that, but like apparently that's a thing. But it's so far back in the family, they are essentially just Chinese. Um, oh, you should look at Brazil and Argentina's makeup. Perfectly normal mix. You know what? I believe you. I believe you. I just hadn't thought of that. Hey, Malcedon. Technically, you're Hispanic because my mom's family has been in Texas before it was Texas. Oh, neat. Back when it was Hispaniola. All right, so I gotta ask, like, all right, so there's a gang. There's a gang that I wrote up for Babylon, and I'm going between two names for it. They are like a Latino gang. They're supposed to be like the LA Kings a little bit, you know, in makeup anyway. It's a gang of monsters, and I'm trying to figure out whether it's better to call them the Mexicano Satanico or the Chicano Satanico, or rather the Chicano Satanico, because Mexicano Satanico, like, it's weird. It's like mentally it sounds better, but the thing I like about Chicano Satanico is like you kind of automatically start bobbing your head upside down when you say it. We're the Chicano Satanico. Whereas if you say like we are the Mexicano Satanico, like that head bobbing starts a little later. You know. So I'm leaning towards Chicano Satanico. Yeah, the gang as a whole, like they wear like Mexican wrestler masks. Chicanos are Hispanics from Chicago. Huh. Really? Is that the origin of that? Huh. Yeah, everything I'm looking up. I mean, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just that everything I see is just that it's just interchangeable with. It's essentially interchangeable with Hispanic. Oh, genial terms of usage. Wait, what? Yeah, someone who is native of or descends from Mexico who lives in the United States is Chicano. Hispanic is someone who is native of or descends from a Spanish-speaking country. Latino is someone who is native of or descends from a Latin American country. Okay. And Latinx is the gender neutral form. Oh, so Chicano or Chicana means that you live in the United States, but you're from Mexico or your family is from there. Whereas Latino is the broader usage, and Hispanic is technically any Spanish speaking country. Oh, interesting. How do you know when a white guy is part Native American? Oh, he'll tell you. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Malsadon. Well, Latinx is kind of weird because it's Latinx is it tends to be a term that is, as far as I could tell, is primarily used in politically correct spaces. And like that's the problem. It's not something that is in real common usage outside of those areas or people that care about that stuff. That stuff meaning, politically correct phrasing. I understand why it was made because we use Latina for everything, and the thing with is that Spanish is a highly gendered language. You know, hmm. Latinos is a gender neutral term. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the problem that people have it is that when do you gender neutral in Spanish, you default to masculine. Latinos is the group plural suffix in Spanish. Oh, okay. So it's like Latino is you're referring to a male, Latina, you're referring to a woman, Latinos, you're just referring to everybody. Oh, interesting. You did one of those, came back with the result white as shit. Yeah. Yeah. Apparently the only continent that my family does not have any sort of direct connection to is the African continent. Everywhere else, though. It makes a certain amount of sense since like the people who became the Asians were kind of the first to leave the African continent. So it would make sense that they would have um that the differences would be pronounced. So like man can mean mankind is and not just man. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and Latinx is supposed to like address that, but I don't know, man. It's not something I I'm probably in the wrong generation to have heard it in casual usage. But I hear it a lot in political spaces. You know, the other thing that's kind of funny is that I can refer to Elliot Page as him, but I keep forgetting to call them Elliot Page. Like I'll say like, yeah, so like Ellen, you know Ellen Page, you know, he like I'm supposed to say Elliot Page because I'm accidentally dead naming them. Because most of the things I've seen them in, they have been Ellen Page. You know, sometimes you know it's just I'm just fucking it up because of memory. You know, habit, bad habit. You know, habit that no longer applies. You know, sometimes when people get it wrong, it's a lot closer to just calling the guy from fucking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air Carlton. You know, that's not his name. Like, the reason you remember Will Smith is because that was his name in the fucking show. Otherwise, if they had called him Rob, people would be calling him Rob. You know, until he became a big star, then they start getting it right. But he'd still have that problem. Occasionally, someone's like, "Oh my God, it's Rob!" You know, they'll be just like fucking fucking Patton Oswalt still gets called by the name of his character from King of Queens. Yeah, or Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil's probably a better example. You know, like you see that guy and you're like, Uncle Phil. You're like, I've done other shit. Yeah. A lot of other shit, actually. A lot of other shit that you've seen that I like starred in. And he's still Uncle Phil. Pee Wee Herman. Exactly. No. Uncle Phil. Wait. No, you're right. Uncle Phil was Shredder. It was the dude from Family Matters who was in Die Hard. Yeah, Steve Urkel. Yeah, as opposed to God damn it. As opposed to Jaleel White. You know, Jaleel White, another guy who has starred in shit that I have seen, that you have seen and you have loved, but you still call him Urkel. You know? Oh man. Holy shit. Hey John, how you doing? Yeah, he was also Sonic the Hedgehog, man. Like he's done tons of shit. But we still call him Urkel. Julia White selling Urkel weed? Holy shit. That's marketing. That is marketing. John Evans. John Evans. How you doing, man? John Evans is a friend from that I've had for a long time. I think we've known each other since 95, 96. We met because we put up an advertisement for more players for our Shadowrun game, and John was one of the guys that answered. And I will never forget. We asked him, like, all right, so why do you want to be in like a Shadowrun-y, cyberpunk-y kind of game? And he's like, well, I've memorized the first paragraph of Snow Crash. I know it by heart. And I can't remember which one of us said which, but one said the Deliberator belongs to an elite order. And I went wrong. The Deliberator belongs to a hollowed subcategory. It might have been the other way around, but turns out we were both wrong and both right. The full line is the Deliberator belongs to an elite order, comma, a hollowed subcategory. Currently, he is preparing to complete his 6th mission of the evening. That was exactly it. Yeah, because turns out, man, cyberpunk fucking novels is how I met a lot of my oldest friends, because that's how me and Seth Lindbergh became pals, through cyberpunk. His girlfriend at the time, I was looking for someone to have a conversation with, and it was like, oh, this cute girl will do. I started talking to her, and I was talking about cyberpunk, pontificating like I often do. And the way Seth describes, he's like, this guy's hitting on my guy with a red mohawk, is hitting on his girlfriend, talking about cyberpunk. He doesn't know what fucking cyberpunk is. I'm gonna fucking school this dude. So he comes up and he's like, you know what a great cyberpunk novel is? Bad Voltage. And I immediately freaked out, because I was like, Bad Voltage is amazing, because I had read that book. And I really liked it. It's all about a skate gang in a cyberpunk world, and the whole novel is set to Joy Division. Because at the start of every section, the author lists a Joy Division song, and we just completely fucking geeked out of that. Forgot the girlfriend existed. We just talked about cyberpunk novels for 2 hours. Oh, hang on. And the lactate. The Countess, everybody. Oh yeah, no, dude. See if you can find it. It's very. It feels like an '80s movie. Bad Voltage. Bad Voltage really feels like an '80s movie when you read it. It's awesome. Oh, you didn't tell Neil Stevenson that fucking story? Oh, you should have. Oh yeah, you're right. You should have. That'd have been great. Well, God damn it. I'm glad he was a cool dude, because there've been a lot of don't meet your heroes moments that have been happening in the last few months. So I kind of want someone who did something I liked to be someone I can still respect. A great example of what I mean, okay, Harlan Ellison, huge asshole. But at the end of the day, I could still respect him. I didn't always agree with him, particularly when it came to the internet, but I could always respect him. Like, the worst he ever got was big, cranky old man, which he was cranky young man, so that wasn't a far walk down the block. Mm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jeremy, that is correct. Our cat Comet has an inoperable tumor. It's also, like, in his mouth. So, poor guy. Lizzie hurt. Oh, yeah, Lizzo hurt. That hurt, you know. Yeah, Mr. Ellison, how do I become a better writer? Well, stop writing crap. You know? Yeah, stop writing crap. Arnold Ellison's advice. And the funny thing is if you're on your way to becoming a writer, you know what he's talking about. You get it. You're like, oh, shit. Ah, shit, he knows. God damn it. It's like when I met, like, Phil Foglio. You know, it's like, what do you think? What advice would you give, like, a young creative in any field? And he's like, well, first of all, keep at it. No. Change my mind. First piece of advice is don't suck. If you don't suck, everything else will work out. Yeah, to be fair, Harl Ellison never hid the fact that he was an asshole. Yeah, he was always an asshole I could respect. Didn't always agree with him. Been mad at him a couple of times, but, like, he earned my respect and he kept it. Harlan Ellison? Oh, yeah, he's a great guy. Really entertaining guy to be around. Or he was. I mean, he's dead now. Oh, yeah, your cat Peanut also has, like, yeah, I remember that. Well, yeah, those were the exact words he told J. Michael Straczynski when he was young. And when he told that story to Ellison at, like, I think it was a Dragon Con I was at, Harlan Ellison was like, oh, shit. Were you mad? He's like, the thing is, Harlan, if you had been wrong, I would have been mad. Oh. So yeah, we still so yeah, I know multiple Johns, both spelled the same way. Actually, John Evans, I need to talk to you about writing fiction for the game that I'm writing. The you know, just like one of those, like 2-page stories that would be in in front of, like, a chapter or something, or start the book off with. you know, start a section off with. He's an old cat. He's going to make him. Yeah, that's what we're going to do with Comet. Going to make him comfy and then, ride it out. Yeah, I remember Phil and Dixie from Dragon Magazine. Hell yeah. Oh, you're around? Oh, you're in SF this month? Oh, actually, sweet. Are you like still in the apartment on like in like hate in the hate near the hate, or did you get like a new place? Now, for those of you who don't know, John travels a lot. John Evans travels a lot. Oh, you're in Berserkly now. Okay, that's still not like too far, actually. God damn it. If my car is not, there's a potential problem with my car that I have not really looked into. Like the oil light went off for no known reason. And the engine is starting to smell a little bit, which I'm not happy about because I'm like, what's going on? But if I can get that dealt with, if it's like just one of those like, oh yeah, just change the oil again, then I should probably meet you up in. I wouldn't mind meeting you up in Berkeley because sometimes I need to get out of the motherfucking house. Oh man. Hey, just John. Do you want to hop on voice or are you good? Sounds good to you? Awesome. Carburetor going out perhaps? Well, fe- felt lol? What? Yeah, I hope it's not the carburetor. I hope it's not something I can't deal with myself. You're in bed. Oh, well, okay then. What about you, John Evans? Are you video capable and fit for public consumption? I hope it's not the carburetor. Engine performance reduction, engine overheats, starting difficult. Uh-oh. Well, we don't have black exhaust smoke. I don't think. Uh-oh. Oh no. Clogged carburetor. Uh-oh. Oh fuck. Oh shit. How do I join in? I could send you a Zoom link. Oh, yeah, in case I need to get the fuck out of the house. Yeah. John, the Resendi email address still works, right? Going to wrestling tomorrow? Oh man. Okay, cool. Sent out. Let me. What the hell's going on here? This was supposed to solve all my problems, but it seems to have created new ones. Ah, ha ha ha. There we go. All right. Is that gonna? Yes. Okay, it worked. Uh, I know. Aha, it's magic. Oh man, how have you been, dude? Oh, hold on. We got. Hold on. We're getting double. We're getting double sound somehow. Hold on. All right, we can do this. We can do this. Come on. How is? Oh no! All right, gotta gotta fix it. Is there any way we could get it off of your speakers? Because I don't think I can fix that on my end. Yours. All right. Yeah. Okay, great. Let's hopefully it is the case, and I will. Let's try it. All right.
I'm also on like a 5 second delay, so I can see myself sitting down from my now comfortable position. So, hello, past me. Don't get in any trouble.
Oh man, so how you been, man?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
You said you were traveling as per advertised. Uh-oh, I hope you can hear me now. No. He responded to me, so he must be able to
Yeah,
hear me.
I'm getting a weird like 5 second echo, but as long as nobody else is, that's fine. I'll just adjust to it.
Okay, yeah, I'm not getting it.
Okay, good. In that case, never mind. Yeah, I was bouncing around. I was I was back in Canada for a bit. I was actually in Alaska over the weekend, uh, and I'm heading to Atlanta.
Oh, that's going to be interesting around this time.
Yes, so Atlanta is like a work thing for this new job, but what they happen to have scheduled a meeting in Atlanta as Dragon Con is happening, so I'll be hanging around for another couple days, I suppose, and going to Dragon Con.
Son of a bitch. Fucking son of a bitch.
I will get like one day there, but still, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's going to be more days than I get.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been to a show in like 3 years at this point. Like it's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, no wonder. I think about it that way. No wonder I'm going like fucking crazy. I used to do like used to do at least like 5 shows a year, and then it just went to 0. And it's like, I don't see anybody, and nobody likes me anymore. And it's like, well, yeah, you're not going to any of the shit your friends do anymore, you moron,
Yeah, like people are slowly emerging into the world, that kind of thing, but still kind of slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, still pretty slow. I'm sorry, I haven't fucking read. Fuck!
Exadelic. Sorry.
Exadelica, yeah.
I shouldn't have let that one hang, but it was too entertaining.
Yeah. I almost said Accelerando, but I'm like, it's not Accelerando. That's fucking cross,
I think I mentioned a long time ago that when I give people the book I wrote, I have a very strict 7-year deadline to read it. So
I'm still waiting for someone to option Beasts of New York. Holy shit.
yeah, that'd be nice. We'll see.
Yeah. For those who don't know, what would be the elevator pitch of Beasts of New York? I would call it like it's kind of like Watership Down in New York, but it gets freakier.
With more genocide.
More genocide, yeah. A New York fable,
A squirrel odyssey.
Yeah. Well, like it reminded me of this. There was this one Chevy Chase movie where Chevy Chase is like writing a novel and then ends up submitting his wife's children's book proposal to his editor, who seems to think that he's like kind of gone off the deep end because he's writing this like serious American novel that's about a squirrel. And so when you told me about Beasts of New York, I was like, did you just decide to write that book?
I think decide is a strong word. I got obsessed with the idea. The moment I realized I had to write it, I went for a run in a park and a squirrel crossed my path and I stopped and stared at the squirrel for like 45 seconds. And then I was like, I got to do something about this.
Yeah.
This is not a healthy way to live. If I got to write the book, then I got to write the book.
Yeah. Yeah. Like where were you? Were you in New York when that happened?
I was in Montreal, but I'd just been living in New York, and I went back to New York to write the first half of the book. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of what I'm writing right now is like set in LA, so I'm like kind of I do have a friend who has an apartment there that they only occasionally use. Maybe I need to crash there for a bit. You know, but I'm like also like not fully sure. I think I'm being a pussy about it.
I mean, a week in LA will get you the LA vibe, right? There's like that decompression period when you go to Los Angeles and you're like, what the hell is going on? Then you're like, oh yes, it's Los Angeles. I understand my Los Angeles self now.
Yeah. That's just a weird part of LA. Like you have an LAU, which is weird because you're like, it's still clearly you, but it's who you are in LA, which is weird because you're like, because it is a different, that town is a very different vibe.
It is. I'm very fond of Los Angeles. I lived there for a year, as you may recall, but I do not pretend to understand it or to understand its vibe at all.
Yeah, the way I describe Los Angeles is I'm like, it's a whorehouse that's masquerading as a city. It's an old style bordello that is masquerading as a city. And
do you make a lot of friends with this approach? In LA, I mean.
I don't think I've actually said this to anyone in LA, you know, but I'm like, no. It's like the spirit of LA is like, the aging beauty who's still got it, you know, and as long as you're like, it's okay, you're beautiful, you know, like everything will be cool. You know,
people hate on LA because there are all the bad things people say about LA, and I want to be clear that all of those things are 100% true. Like every criticism of Los Angeles is accurate.
Yes,
and yet like there are a lot of good things. They're just like hidden. Like San Francisco's like, here I am, I'm beautiful, I'm wonderful, love me, and LA is like, eh. But if you get past the there's a lot of good stuff there actually.
Yeah. I actually usually have a really, really, really good time in LA, and I think it's because the whole area is always working on its people skills because they're all trying to get into entertainment. And so as a result, I feel like I get treated like a human being in a way I don't get treated like a human being anywhere else. I remember like the first major trip we took down there, and I was sitting there. Someone else was driving at the time. And I was like, I've got this weird feeling that I recognize, but I don't know what it is. And I just mulled it over for like 10 minutes in the back seat, and I went, oh, I'm happy. I'm in a good mood because like everyone that I've talked to has treated me like a human being. Now, granted, they were probably doing that because they wanted to sell me something, but I'll take it.
Well, also, especially if you're visually distinctive as you are in Los Angeles, everyone is like, there's a non-zero chance that this person a year from now will be a star. So
yeah. They'll be in something that I will see, you know, and so I think that does bleed through. If you want to be just like everybody else, I think LA is a terrible place to be. If you just want to blend in, it's a bad place.
Yeah. And when I lived in LA, my girlfriend explained it to people to me. It's like LA is a place where everyone can just be themselves and no one really gives a shit one way or another. Like if Fabio walks into a 7-Eleven with a sword over his shoulder, everyone will be like, oh yeah, Fabio's getting his monster drink. Oh well. That's Fabio's thing.
Exactly. And there's something really kind of cool about that. You're just sort of like, oh, there's that person that I've seen in all this mythical shit, this stuff that occupies the mythical space in my head. And there's the man buying an energy drink.
Yes.
It was like that. There was a story that Patrick Stewart told about him when he moved to Los Angeles, when he did that. To do all the like Star Trek movies, because he hadn't lived in LA before, and this was after Next Gen, and he moved, and he'd heard all the stories, and so one day he's like, "Oh man, I gotta get some cash out of the machine," which kind of tells you about what period of time this was, and so he goes there and he sees this truck drive by, and the guy looks at him. And he's like, okay, that was odd. And he's doing it. And then the truck drives by again. He's like, okay. And then the truck stops and the guy gets out. And he's like, oh God, this is it. This is where I get mugged in LA. Everyone said it would happen. It's happening.
Yep.
I haven't been here a month. Here it is. Fuck. What do I do? And all of a sudden, the guy just comes out. And he's like, hey, you're the guy that played Captain Picard on Star Trek? And he's like, yes. And the guy just like, I love this town. And he gets back in his truck and drives off. He's like, and I did not know what just happened. You know, like that would be like being in Bob's Big Boy, having your burger, and all of a sudden a dude coming up to you and going like, what you really ought to do is take the pickles and put them at the bottom. That way it hits your tongue just before you bite into the meat. And that's how, and the guy walks off and you realize, wait, that was David Lynch, you know? Just giving me this weird advice about how to eat, but what the fuck? You know? You know, that's probably LA at its best.
Yep.
You know, randomly running into people whose work you're familiar with, you know. That's happened to me a few times at the Dark Delicacies in Burbank. We're like looking at somebody, you know, looking at some movies or some stuff, and then like some guy will be like, what do you think of that? And I'm like,
It's also kind of fun when you're like, I'm not sure if that was a celebrity. Like I've been biking down on the Santa Monica bike path and thinking there's like an 80% chance that was Lawrence Fishburne I just passed, but like 20% not. I'm not entirely clear on whether.
Yeah. And you're like, it could be.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean, you know, you know, is he gonna do a Lawrence Fishburne thing that will identify him and like let me off the hook?
Yes.
You know, like if you walk by a guy who looks like Lawrence Fishburne and all of a sudden he says, I want to tell you about the Matrix, you'd be like, holy shit. Oh, of course, like if I met him, I would be like, what was it like being a kid on the set of Cornbread Earl and Me? You know, like I was like, you saw that? I'm like, hell yeah, I saw that. Oh man. But like that's kind of me though. I just sort of automatically bring up like the most whenever I meet like a celebrity, I tend to bring up the most obscure thing I saw them in, because for some reason that's the one that left the big impression.
And famously, Apocalypse Now, right? Wasn't he the waterboarder in Apocalypse Now?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, it's one of
like
the
16 years old or something.
Yeah, well, it would be like, you know, like you run into like Willem Dafoe, and instead of mentioning Platoon, you mentioned like Streets of Fire. You know?
So I met George R.R. Martin once at Worldcon in Montreal, and for the first time, and we sort of shook his hands, and I said to him, I'm actually a big fan of the Armageddon Rag, which was a very obscure early novel of his that sold very, very poorly. And he gave me this sort of look and took like half a step backwards and said, oh, you're that guy. That was the end of the conversation. It was awkward.
Yeah, he did that to me when I fucking mentioned The Skin Game.
Oh, The Skin Game is great though.
It is. Yeah. It's really good.
In fact, that whole sort of it was like a book with 3 novellas, right? One by Martin, one by King, and one by Peter Straub. I think that all 3 of them are good. Yeah.
And the last one was Skin Game by George R.R. Martin, which is his werewolf novel.
Yeah, I really like Skin Game.
Yeah, like you read it and you're like, oh, this is where Werewolf the Apocalypse comes from. Man, Flash was like, first time I met Dante Brasco, all I did was, hold on, guest overhanging with Mr. All he did was gush overhanging with Mr. Cooper. Well, I don't know why, but I feel like that's the kind of dumb shit real movie buffs do. You know, we'll find the obscure thing that like they were just like absolutely fucking amazing in, or that one thing that they did that was absolutely the unsung fucking gem, you know, of their career. Like J. Michael Straczynski's also got a bunch of those, but the one that I remember most, ironically, that is the thing that he did that no one else knew about, is also not one of his best ones, and that is Night Flyers.
Oh, I saw Night Flyers on like a late night TV channel, the TV edited version, way those years ago. Yeah.
Did you know that they did a Netflix series based on it?
No, I
They
guess I'm
did.
not surprised. I'm a little shocked, but not surprised if that makes sense. But yeah,
Yeah, they did. It's like it's like either 6 or 10 episodes long. I can't remember which one, but I kept seeing it, and I was like, "There's a series, Night Flyers." I'm like, "There is no way that's the J. Michael Straczynski fucking 80s movie." And I kept scrolling by it, and then one day I got curious, and I'm like, click, and the first thing the description says when you click on it, inspired by the novella by J. Michael. You're like, what? Night Flyers? You made a series out of Night Flyers?
you were talking about Ellison earlier. You ever read Ellison's write up of the TV adaptation of The Star Lost? Back in
No.
the 70s. Oh yeah, it's great. They completely fucked it up from beginning to end. But it gave us this wonderful essay about how catastrophic the whole experience was. Like they spent half the budget building a set that was only going to be used in the last episode if the show got continued, if I recall correctly. Maybe this was some sort of, David checking with the producers, being like, "We spent your money, so you have to renew it now because we spent your money on the next season already."
Right.
But it did not. But it did not work out, if I recall correctly. So,
Oh my God.
yeah.
I will be absolutely terrified if someone ever like decides to be like, "Yeah, we're going to do the Firebird stories." It's like, okay. Hang on. Ugh. Problem with eating while talking.
Pizza and Red Bull, dinner of champions.
Yep. Mousedon's like, I remember the Star Lost series. Yep. Well, it's like the oh God. Who was it who wrote the Lensman?
Oh yeah, Doc Smith.
Yeah.
Doc Smith or something. Yep.
Yeah, like the best, ironically, the best adaptation of the Lensman is probably the Hal Jordan years of Green Lantern. You know, every other version I've watched, it's just been a disaster.
I'm still amazed that they made the Green Lantern movie so badly. I mean, they had Ryan Reynolds. They had talent lined up, and it's not like it's catastrophic. There's no one thing you can point to and say it's terrible. It just failed to work from start to finish in every conceivable way.
Yeah.
But I bet Reynolds made it and wasn't totally aware that it was terrible until he saw it, which has got to suck. So.
Oh yeah, because the thing that I thought was kind of funny is I was like, well, Ryan Reynolds, if he's going to be Green Lantern, no matter what they call him, it ain't going to be Hal Jordan. Because that's not who Ryan Reynolds plays, because that's not what he's good at.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, Hal Jordan's a really kind of like humorless character. You know, like he's basically a space cop. You know, and you could get like you would probably be better getting like
Josh Hartnett, I'm going to say, because I just saw Oppenheimer, although he's old now. But
yeah, well, at the time he would have been fine.
Yeah.
He would have been good,
Yeah.
you know. But like also it was the fact that they decided to do Parallax in the first movie, and you're like, what? You do Parallax in the first movie? That's the culmination of like years of fucking Green Lantern shit. In order to do that right, you got to at least wait for the sequel for Parallax, and then they did it anyway, and it was a big yellow fart cloud. You're like, what? And during that period of time, every cosmic monster was just a fart cloud. And I'm like, what? They did that to Galactus, which made me really angry. Because I'm like, you make Galactus a fart cloud? Fuck you. Come on. He's a big guy in a big purple outfit with a big purple head that comes down and tries to eat Earth. It's not that complicated. Just do that. No, that'll look stupid on the screen. You're already doing superhero movies, you mumser. And then Marvel Comics just started doing that shit and everybody loved it.
I will say the first appearance of Thanos in the end credits of I forget which movie looks terrible.
Oh, yeah, it does not age well.
Yeah.
It does not age well. But by the time they bring on the Brolin...
Yes, exactly.
Like,
once they Josh Brolin him, it was all right. They had to give him a personality.
Yeah. Then you're like, oh shit, this is working. Like as I like to say, like turns out the ripoff of DC Comics Darkseid fucking outperformed Darkseid. Because that's who Thanos was up until those movies. He was just sort of like, yeah, I'm a copy of fucking Darkseid from Apocalypse in the DC universe, except I've got a glove, and that was basically it,
And I've got 6 plot coupons I need to collect over the source.
Exactly. But then they were like, nah, let's actually do something with this guy, and they totally changed his character, which was good because he didn't really have much of a character. In the beginning, he just wanted to kill everybody.
Ever so often, I'd like to see Thanos' right graffiti scrawled in the background of the new Marvel series. You see it on Twitter today, or whatever Twitter is called these days.
Oh, man. Yeah, like seeing that in some space city or something.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that would be cool. Yeah, hell yeah, the Thanos copter. That's right. Thanos needs to ride around a helicopter that has his name on it. Oh, man. Yeah, I think they should bring the Josh Brolin Thanos back for like whatever they're doing for just a moment, for whatever they're doing with Deadpool 3.
That, and they should put Thanos and sort of retroactively add him to other Josh Brolin roles, like put him in Sicario. Suddenly it's Thanos in the CIA.
See, I was going to go with Goonies,
Even better. Yes. Or No Country for Old Men, obviously.
Fucking have him like face off with oh god,
Woody Harrelson, is it? Or
no,
Chigurh is the character's name.
Yeah. That the character and that fucking actor who was in everything for a hot minute. Now I'm spacing on his name. What happened to that guy? He was in everything, and then he was like in nothing all of a sudden.
Javier Bardem.
Bardem, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe move back to Europe.
Yeah, could be. But he's one of those guys. Well, I mean, at least he got his moment because, like, he had been an actor for like ages, gotten no recognition. Then No Country for Old Men comes out, and then just all of a sudden everyone's like, holy shit, who is this guy?
That scene, which is just one take, where he just, takes his handcuff arms behind his back and just sort of folds them around his legs. I assume Bardem is just unnaturally flexible or something. I could not do that, certainly, but there's...
Yeah. Oh, I found out something about, speaking of movies like Sicario, I found out that, like, large parts of The Departed were improv'd by Jack Nicholson.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, like that whole scene he has with, I believe, Matt Damon, where they're killing that one woman. Like, most of that scene was suggested by Nicholson. He suggested it to Scorsese because he was like, all right, so we got the scene where I'm killing a woman, all right? But and I could do it the way you want, but my Matt should be in the scene with me. So we'll do it that way. And then you could have that cut. But if you keep the camera rolling, I'm going to stand back for a minute and go, she fell funny. Which is a sinister thing to say because there means I've done this so long that there's a particular way people fall when you shoot them in the head. And you could stop there. But if you keep the camera rolling, Matt then comes up with an axe and he's going to chop her into pieces. And you could leave it there. But if you keep the camera rolling, I'm going to go, wait, I think I'm going to fuck her again. And then you could end it there. But if you keep the camera rolling, I then go, ah!
So weird real life connection. Whitey Bulger, the sort of real life Boston crime lord that character was loosely based on, who was fugitive from the FBI for many years and believed to have been like in cahoots with the FBI state evidence, was eventually tracked down in his like 70s in an apartment building in Santa Monica, where my ex-girlfriend was living at the time. And she was like, he was this nice white-haired guy who gave me my mail sometimes.
What?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is wild. That's like, turns out my neighbor was Al Capone all these years.
Pretty much. He was considered the most wanted person behind Osama bin Laden on the FBI's top 10 list throughout the 90s.
And I take it this is after he came back from prison or something?
No, he was a fugitive. He vanished, right? And they believed because he was helping the FBI with various investigations, they sort of looked the other way. And he was eventually arrested in her building, which he also lived in like 2012, 2013.
And that's how she found out.
Yeah. And only then did he go to prison. He was in like late 70s or something.
Wow.
Yeah. Whitey Bulger. Look it up. Crazy story. I got to bail out because I have a stupid work call at 7 a.m. tomorrow with Europeans.
Oh, no problem. But thanks for fucking coming and hanging out for a little bit.
My pleasure. It's fun doing a cameo.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
I'll catch you later,
I'll catch you this month in person. Yeah, take care.
Definitely. Bye. Oh, that was cool. Yeah, that's a flip. Let's see. Lensman, an arms race that makes both the Death Stars and the Starkiller base look quaint. Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure fucking, like, George Lucas himself mentioned the Lensman as a influence. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to top that tonight. Maybe I'll just call it here. Oh, man. So, like, I want to thank everybody for coming down and spending some time with us. If you feel like donating, please do. With a sick cat, it's now even more important than it was. Hit that like button, share, whatever. And I'll really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Oh, man. But, until next time, Ave Satanas, Disco Inferno, and I will see y'all later. Take care of yourselves and hail Satan.